Well, hello. Hi, everyone. It's been a while since I've come online live, and I just wanted to say hello. I hope you can join me and listen in on some interesting things I've been thinking about. We're just celebrating the season of spring, transitioning into the season of summer. It's June 2021, and it's hard to believe that little over a year ago, we were having conversations online about standing firm while your world is shaking during the pandemic quarantine and shutdown. And here we are, at least in the United States, ready to emerge in a different way, almost at 70%. And it feels like, I don't know about you, but it feels like we've been dealing with a lot of change these last 18 months. And so I wanted to come on board here and have a discussion, share some thoughts with you. I've got some new things going on. I've been kind of in a cocoon like the rest of us in the last 6-8 months. There's been a lot of changes in my own life personally, and I pushed pause on a lot of things professionally during that time. So I have all these great tools and tips and ideas and this special opportunity to connect with you that has kind of just been laying there dormant. So thank you for catching us and joining us. And if you didn't catch it, I want to show you that we are officially here with Life Mastery TV. And today's show is all about dealing with change as we reemerge or just kind of cope with the ramifications of everything that's happened in what seems like a never-ending cycle of change these last few weeks. And we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. My YouTube channel, you can find it at this shortcut with bit.ly, Life Mastery TV, and you can follow me on Facebook at the bit.ly Life Coach Alicia Marie. So that's a little bit of the housekeeping, and I just want to show you how fun I've been creating lately. And that's this cool background that I'll just introduce to you here and now later. Let's see, if I jump out here for 1 minute, you'll get a chance to see it. So hop on board. So there you have it, my new introduction screen. So thanks again for letting me brag about that. I'm really proud of how it turned out. So dealing with change, how have things been going for you? And this is a live conversation, so feel free to chat in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube. I'm using StreamYard to broadcast, so make sure you give permissions in Facebook for that, and you'll be able to comment, and we'll be able to actually pull you up on screen and have a conversation. In the meantime, let's dive in, because if you've been feeling a bit overwhelmed, if you've been feeling a bit stressed, if you've been feeling like there's just been a lot of things going on and now it seems like everything's changing again. Felt like during the last year, every 3 to 6 weeks, something was changing in our family significantly, whether it was virtual school and then how they were doing the virtual school, that maybe we're not going to do it and then we will do it. And then, we've been talking about wearing masks, and then we've been talking about not wearing masks, and then we're talking about what's going on in the world of politics and lots of changes there, what's been going on in our world of social economic unrest. There's just been a lot going on. And so I don't know about you, but personally for me, it has been what I'm going to call the great ordeal especially this last winter. I thought we were going to escape 2020 personally with, doing okay. But then some things happened at the end of the year. And like I said, I took a pause professionally and had to focus on our family because we were just thrown into another level of chaos. I thought there couldn't be more chaos. And one of my mottos is taming the chaos. So here it is. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're joining, and I really do hope you're well and that you're dealing with everything. But because it's been a while since I've been in touch, I wanted to share with you some of these things. And mostly, I wanted you to know that you're not alone. You are dealing with a whole lot of change. And that could be change in your finances. It could be change in your health. It could be change in your family or the relationships, the dynamics you're dealing with. It could be, where am I going to go with my career next or now? Do I want to work at home from home? Do I want to work independently? What do I want to do? So it's okay. That's the first thing I want to tell you. It's okay. Take a deep breath with me. It's okay. So I've been making some massive changes in my own life and navigating the changes in the seasons and the schedules that come with those changes. And so I've got some tips and ideas for you about what's going on. But I wanted to just dive in a little bit here about this idea of dealing with change. Because as we head out of our pandemic mindsets and back into whatever this new normal is, there's really one very important thing to realize. And that is you, me, we have the ability to create what that new normal will look like. And there's absolutely no reason why it has to go back to what it was before. And I think this is our great opportunity and our challenge. And yes, change is challenging, but this is the moment we are in. Now, we can fall back and go down the road of comfort and back to what we knew, but it may be that what we knew doesn't really exist or doesn't really work anymore. So I think it's really important to acknowledge that change is something we possibly need to really look at as an opportunity versus something to be scared of. Our brains are going to tell us to be scared of it. That's what your brain's designed to do, to help you survive, to notice when things are missing or notice when things are different, notice where things could be dangerous. Its only job is to make you survive. And we don't live in a world where we have to worry about the tiger coming around the bend. We live in a world where we get to choose what the change looks like we're going to have and what this new normal is going to be. So I challenge you with your pandemic mindset, whatever that's been for the last year, to look at how can I create a new normal? And that does mean dealing with change. So I know if you're like me and a lot of the people who've been reaching out to me, you've probably been wondering, what direction do I go next? What actions do I take now in this new environment in order to get great results? And you are in good company. There are millions of people asking this question. And we have to also remember there are people across the world still dealing with the tragedies that the pandemic is still raging in their lives. So we're not quite out of the woods yet. So people have been asking me, Alicia Marie, what do I do now that things are changing again? What can I do to change things around for me personally? How do I emerge with a new sense of confidence, courage, and even some control, even when things are still uncertain? And I might still be picking up the pieces from the last year. And the one that I can resonate with is, help! I'm not ready for post-pandemic life when I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering from the health issues, grieving so many losses, maybe looking for a job again, dealing with the finances. So I want you to know I've been listening and I've been leaning in and I've been asking myself and leaning into the challenges, into the changes that are not only calling me forth, but calling you. What's going on in my own life is a reflection of what's going on in everyone else's life. And those changes are there for us, whether we go with it willingly or unwillingly. So I've been leaning into that idea of change and dealing with change in a new, perhaps more healthy, more productive way, and leaning into the question of what can I do to help so many people that I see struggling. So we're going to get into that a little more. But I want you to know that I know if you've been following me this last winter or you want to ask more questions about it, we had a lot of things going on in what I would call calamity mode. And so I really do know the cost of confusion and anxiety firsthand. And I've actually had to take steps that I wouldn't otherwise take or thought I would never have to take in order to manage that anxiety and manage that confusion. So here I am on a kind of coming out the other side. And if you want to read more about that, I'll put a link into the description or the comments about some things I shared if you were on my email list this last winter and from February. But all I can say is that I really do understand. I know it can all feel like way, 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 way too much sometimes. And we just want to melt down. So here's the thing. We can either melt down and have change happen to us anyway and around us outside of our control, or we can decide to do something with that change and be engaged in it in a way that we can at least be self-empowered. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Dealing with change is difficult. It can be very difficult. And it does seem like it's never ceasing. And that's okay, because change is ultimately what life is about. And change, as the wise old age saying goes, change is the only constant in the universe. And that will be true until the universe dies in a cold heat death. And that's so many cajillions of light years ahead of us that we don't have to worry about that. What we need to think about is here and now. So here's what I learned a long time ago, and then sometimes I forget, but I wish I had really learned it even earlier than I learned it. And that is, change is my friend. Yeah, change is my friend, even when it doesn't feel like it. And the second thing that I learned is that if you want things to be different, you have to stop waiting for things to be different and decide to do something about it. And so that's my invitation for you today. Just stop struggling. I know that's an easy thing to say. And I certainly have spent many, many days in the last 18 months just in struggle mode. Like I called it recently when I was talking to a friend, the struggle bus, Titanic version of struggle bus. So I felt like I was on a sinking ship. Have you ever felt that way? But that's my invitation, is to ask yourself, what would happen if I chose or started to make the shift to stop struggling to find a way on my own? What would happen if I stopped struggling to just get by and to get through the moment, through the day? Stop wishing for a way to get and stay motivated and start doing the things that actually might build motivation. Stop wondering, how do I make changes in my life? How do I make it better? I know that can sound really harsh all by itself, but there's another side to the coin, and that's the invitation that I have for you to do instead. Instead of struggling, instead of wondering, instead of wishing, take action and get support. Do the little things that you can and begin to move that needle, even if it's those micro moves and it feels like nothing's really changing. There is a well-known mariner's adage that, just as a fact actually, that the Queen Mary, the big long boat that takes you across the Atlantic, when it's out at sea, you cannot see the land. You cannot see anything but water. And when the captain at the helm says, turn the boat around, all hands on deck and below deck go to work to do that. And yet it feels like nothing is happening to the passengers or anyone looking out at sea, because it takes 7 miles at sea for the Queen Mary to do an about face. And during that 7 miles, you don't see land. You have no marker to tell you which way you're going. Are you actually turning? You have to rely on your instruments. You have to rely on your measurements as a captain. And that's what you're doing. We're in a moment of turning the Queen Mary around. And so making those needle moving shifts so that the compass starts to move is super important. And it might take a while. We might have the whole summer or the whole rest of this year or maybe into next year. One thing I do know is that the process of being engaged with change is the most important part. So that's my invitation, to take some sort of action, do some little thing. Decide today is a small thing I can do that's different than yesterday, and I'm going to do this one thing enough that it will start to become my new thing. And it's the thing that will lead me in the direction I actually would like to go. And get support doing that, because making change all by ourselves is really, really hard. We fall back, we get tired, we get stressed, and it's just easier to give up. But there's another way of doing things. And so do the things you can do today, but do them in a certain way. And that's all about who you're being in the process. And that matters to you because you get to decide what that new future self is going to look like. So that's a lot of things to do all at once, but it's those micro steps. And that's why support is so important, because to keep you on track, to keep you knowing, am I headed in the right direction? So here's another thing I've learned. This is super important for you, because I've learned that every one of us can be a change agent and a leader in our own lives. And in any role that we're playing, at work, at home, in the community, we all can be a leader, and we all can be a change agent. You absolutely have the power to become a professional change maker. I call it Change Maker PRO. You can overcome, more importantly, befriend your fear. You can use whatever failures or frustrations you've had as a stepping stone into your future. And you can find joy even when there's sorrow in your life and grief, which for many of us there may be. You can build a better tomorrow starting right now. So that's your chance. And you see, I think you are the kind of person that's ready. You're ready for change. You're ready for accountability and action. You're ready to lead a brand new lifestyle that you design. And you're ready to be part or help create a brand new community to do that. So imagine with me for a minute. You're waking up knowing you're on your way towards a better, brighter future that you have designed, that you love, one that has your goals and the goals that you actually are engaged and excited about to work towards, and you look forward to achieving them. Can you imagine that? Imagine feeling busy but calm as you go through your day. And instead of frantic and frustrated, you're actually discovering you have more time and energy to do the things because of how you're doing them and who you're being. Imagine looking down at your to-do list and realizing at the end of the day that you've actually, or maybe even halfway through the day, you've actually accomplished way more than you thought was even possible. And more importantly, you took the action steps on the things that mattered most to you, not just the things coming at you. Imagine how you would feel. Imagine that. Imagine enjoying your work, enjoying the job search if that's what you're doing, enjoying growing your resources, financial, relationship, and otherwise, feeling healthier, more vibrant, more alive. Imagine spending more time with your loved ones and having relationships that you really care about, all while still reaching those goals that you've set for yourself, and maybe even moving on towards bigger ideas. Imagine celebrating the wins. You're gathered around a table with your family and friends. You're enjoying the celebratory dinner, and you feel so supported behind the scenes because of a new set of friends and colleagues that you've made along the journey, along the way, with all those successes. See, I know all this and more is possible, when you learn to harness the power of change in your life. And really, this is your chance to step into leadership potential, your leadership potential as a change maker and as a dream builder. And it's your time. It's time you embraced your new identity that you get to create as a dream builder, as a change maker, as a dreamer and a doer, as a successful goal getter. It's time you stopped stressing and started creating the life you really love. And all it takes is one simple step to get you going. If I could give you one simple step to get you going in the direction that you would really love, would you take it? Would you do it? You can put a little comment down below if you would take it. So here's what Bob Proctor, here's what Science of Getting Rich for Wallace Wattles, here's what Napoleon Hill knows, and all the Earl Nightingale and all the major people you know in the professional and personal development field. They know that it begins with a decision. Dealing with change begins with a decision to do something about the things you're noticing, your longing, your discontent, the frustration. Where is it not working? And what can you do about it? Because like we talked about a few minutes ago, there is something you can do. So if that sounds good to you, if you'd like to go deeper into that, I'm going to put a link below because I'm actually creating a new opportunity that's an affordable, high-level mastermind to help people get unstuck in making changes. And that's just the simple fact of it. I see way too many people, way too many aspiring leaders, way too many moms and dads and business people, entrepreneurs, trying to make changes and repeating the same old cycle over and over again. So I know I've gotten stuck there. I've seen people go to weekend-long inspirational and deep dive events and come out fired up and ready to go, ready to make changes. And they do sometimes. And then within 3 weeks already, people are not replying to my emails as a partner in believing. And so I know that it's hard to keep the traction going. So I'll put a link below and I'll make another video specifically about what I'm calling Change Maker Mastermind PRO, where it's really a coach-led, accountability and action-oriented community. But I want you to really sink into this moment about dealing into change, because I believe that we're in a place where we have a chance. You, me, so many people in the world have a chance to break the mold and break ground. So we're going to break the mold on the old self and the old habits and the old ways of being and start breaking ground on a new life and a new direction and turn that ship around. I think it's time to tackle the chaos inside and out and tame it. I think it's time that we embrace your authentic self and your self-leadership so that you can take inspired action. So I would love to connect in person, and I am really excited about launching this mastermind on July 1st with our very first live call where live brainstorming and visioning and coaching can happen. In the meantime, it's okay if you're dealing with a lot of change. Sometimes it's changes we want to make but are having a hard time getting started or staying motivated or determining what the next steps are. Sometimes it's change that's forced upon us, kind of like what happened to me this last year. And so many of us, really. So, the outside circumstances come and we feel like we have no control. Maybe that's at work or at home. Maybe it's in our health, our relationships, our finances. Wherever change shows up, it's important to know that you can learn how to handle it and even use it to grow and become better. So that's what I'm rooting for as we deal with change. Let's make it easier. Let's make it more grace-filled. Let's make it even fun. I'm here to support you in the comments and in any other way that I can if you reach out. My biggest advice is take action and get support. Don't do it alone. Don't get lost on the journey all by yourself. Don't let procrastination and distraction keep you from your potential and short circuit it. And if you can get an expert guide to help you and a community of like-minded people, other change makers behind you, you will be supercharged and absolutely on your way. So please think of yourself as a new change agent. Become a change maker in your own life, in your community, in your home, in your business, in your work, and join us on the other side. Thanks for joining me today for Life Mastery TV. I welcome any comments, questions, insights. What's your experience with change, and what are you dealing with right now? I like to go in and provide any little tidbits of coaching that I can do. I am a certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute, and I also am a writer and science geek, so I have lots to offer. And I hope that you're having a great day wherever you're at in the world, and you connect. I will just pop this up on the screen that this is a brand new invitation to join us as a Change Maker Pro in our new mastermind that is coming up. And I will put the picture up here on the screen. This is your opportunity to join us anytime at the ability to make something better and change it for the good. So I think it worked. Maybe it didn't work, but either way, I hope you know that you are fully supported and fully resourced, that you can deal with change and you can get a community of support and some extra help anytime. So reach out, and remember that you have to be willing to be uncomfortable in the interest of growth. And that's what change is really calling us to do. I'm going to be doing more videos about change and other things to master our life, tame the chaos, and become a dream builder and leave a legacy behind that we really know we've made the impact with our life force. So if you have any ideas, questions, comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe or follow and get notifications. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a great night or evening or day, wherever you're at. And I look forward to seeing you in the next broadcast. Bye.